Hello everyone, this is Trite. If you're here, you probably saw the title of this video. So yeah, I wrote an eromanga alongside an artist friend of mine called Pisan. And this is a conversation I had with him on stream, just going over the basics of the eromanga. It went a little bit too long because when we talk together, we kind of tend to rumble on. But I thought if anyone is interested in the story of how the eromanga came about and the process of working on it and the challenges we both faced while working on it, I thought that could be an interesting video to have. So basically I recorded the stream and the Discord audio from our call. Unfortunately, there are a few problems with the audio and the video. On the audio side, we aren't exactly balanced, so Pisan is a little bit louder than I am. I try to normalize the audio, but it's still noticeable. So apologies for that, I'm a bit quieter than Pisan is. And about half an hour before the end of the video, I messed up the recording, so I won't have footage to show you, but the audio is still there, so apologies for that. This is completely unedited. I didn't remove any flubs or anything. I had to leave at some point during the stream to go to the bathroom and grab the dog from the daycare. But otherwise, it's completely unedited, and it's just basically like a podcasty conversation. Chat is on screen if you want to read along with chat and the things people were saying. But anyway, that's really about it. So if anyone is interested in how the eromanga came about, this is the recording of the conversation we had. Anyway, hope you enjoy it and see you later.
Look, it's beautiful anime girl by my side.
Yeah, so like the avatar I'm using is actually for like my gaming streams. Her name is Lyra or Lyra, depends. I am not actually sure what the name is. And that's why it's like a cute girl. I'm not, unfortunately, a cute girl. So
You're not a cute girl.
I am not.
My whole life was a lie. Our whole relationship wasn't real.
I'm sorry.
Oh
So
my god.
that's why she's like holding a controller, because I use that avatar for my gaming streams. And although, yeah, I'm checking if the mouse is working. Yeah, but I probably should get a proper male avatar for me one of these days, because it's kind of silly.
Hi, why pick male?
Exactly.
Whenever I play Pokemon, I always go for the girl character.
Yeah, same.
Because it's appropriate.
Yeah. And I always call my character Kimmy, because when I was a kid, I loved Kim Possible. And
Oh, you call her Kimmy?
Yeah.
Your character.
I
see.
All my Pokemon protagonists are called Kimmy since
Damn,
2003.
Kim Possible.
Since
How
20
long
years
has it
ago.
been?
Yeah, I've always used the same name because of Kim Possible. That's kind of like her nickname. Yeah. So that's why I always use the female character, and I always call her Kimmy. That's kind of a tradition. Oh, Seshpai, hello. Seshpai is like one of my friends, followers on the music side of things.
Oh, I see.
And
you haven't streamed for how long now?
Oh god, I haven't streamed in like maybe 3 months. I've been super sick, like with migraines. It's been awful. Like I'm a bit better now. Like the past 2 weeks or so. But yeah, it's not very fun. So that's why I haven't been streaming at all.
I see. Yeah, I've been busy the past month, basically.
Yeah,
pretty much the whole of November. And
I've
although I'm busy, sometimes I still hop on Twitch from time to time. And then I've never seen you stream, so I'm like, whoa,
no.
try to be busy.
Like, I mostly stream on YouTube, but like the last stream I did on Twitch was the one with the Phoebus and Magikarp that I crashed on your stream. That was the last time I streamed on Twitch, and then I streamed like a couple more times on YouTube after that. But like then I got like quite sick, and I've been like avoiding streaming. But I need to get back into it. Like when I get a bit better, I need to get back into it for sure. Like I was in the middle of a playthrough, like we are going way off topic, but I was in the middle of a playthrough,
like we always do.
Like we always do, exactly.
Always do.
Yeah, like the other day we were doing like the dialogue revision, and like we spent like 3 hours talking, and like we went on like a bunch of tangents. But yeah,
Jesus
like the
Christ.
last time I streamed was like I was like doing a playthrough with the worst Gen 1 moves in Fire Red, and like it's painful.
Ah,
It's like really slow because I'm like using bubble and constrict with the Mew, and like it's so slow. It's so slow. I have done that before on my own, and like I know it's possible, but it's so slow. Like using like the worst moves in the game, and like that playthrough is like been like 2 months since I've played it because I've been just kind of unable, and I've been also focused on my writing stuff. So
oh yeah.
oh yeah, I should probably introduce myself because
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean, you
sure.
kinda introduced, but not formally. But might
Yeah,
as
but
well, right?
just in case like
Might as
people
well.
don't
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
me, so I'm Trite Hexagon or just Trite, and I do a lot of things on the internet, as you can see. Like I stream gaming sometimes. I have a YouTube channel where I do arrangements of chiptune music or two chiptune music, but in particular for Pisan, I'm a writer as well. I write light novels. Mainly, I also do like short stories sometimes. I've done the story for Gomiko, which is like a character Pisan design, and in particular, in this situation, Pisan asked me to write the story for the eromanga with Pan and Kichan.
Yep, he's the
So
man. He's the legend.
I
He's the
wrote,
myth.
I wrote, I wrote the story. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, like I knew you were doing the eromanga, of course, because I watched the subathon like on and off, and like I knew you were doing the eromanga, but I was like, yeah, like a VTuber eromanga, like that's fine. Let's see what Pisan can do with the eromanga, but like I didn't really pay much attention to it because like, oh, it's nothing to do with me. I don't know many VTubers. But then I was on stream and you like, oh yeah, do you want to write the story? And I was like, what? You want me to write the story? What's this? And yeah, it was a bit of a challenge because I never really wrote a story for like a manga or that sort of format. So I wasn't really like very comfortable with like not really the NSFW aspect wasn't really a problem for me. More like the fact it's a manga and like how to convey the story to a manga format. That was the hard part. And also coming up with a story about two VTubers I knew nothing about pretty much. Like I knew Pan because you drew her before, right? You have drawn Pan a
Yep.
few times. So I knew Pan, like I knew who she was, but I didn't know Kichan at all. So I had to do like a little bit of research on both, on like the lore and stuff.
You mean
Yeah,
talking?
and then and then I had to do research in quotes about the tags for the manga because Pen had the brilliant idea. It was Pen, right, who chose to do the tags randomly, right?
Basically, what they did, if I'm not mistaken, Pan did the stream, and then her chat, they suggested a bunch of tags, like you know what we mean by tag,
Yeah,
right?
the
Quote
tags, the
unquote
famous tags.
tags. Yeah. Basically, what happens? I think maybe it ended up like having too many tags, so I think Pan went with the spinny wheel thingy. Like if you go to
Ah,
Google,
right,
like
I
there's
forgot.
a spinny wheel thing, and then they ended up like spinning for the
For the
tags.
tags.
She even like had me go into call like with her stream, and I was
Ah,
there.
I didn't know.
I was there as the tags were chosen.
Oh god. Yeah, like the tags were a bit challenging. For those who haven't read the manga or don't know, the tags were Yuri, bondage, corruption, and face mask for whatever reason. uh, and like that's not really impossible to combine those tags. Like that wasn't really the problem, but like those are not really tags I'm too familiar with, or like I don't read a lot of eromanga with those specific tags. Especially like the most challenging was probably the Yuri, just because I don't really read Yuri manga, and
You're
I had
not a Yuri fan? Shame
it's
on
not
thee.
that I'm not a Yuri fan, but I don't really focus on Yuri. Specifically like vanilla in quotes Yuri. Let's not talk about other types of Yuri. Um, the question Schleb was talking about the other day, if Futa was Yuri or not. Let's not go there. But like vanilla-ish Yuri, I'm not really too familiar. Like I had to do a little bit of research on like vanilla Yuri, just to see like the dynamic of the characters. And then bondage is like easy. Like bondage, it's pretty well known. You can do a lot of things with bondage. Corruption was also a bit difficult because the corruption tag is usually when you have like a hero character or like a good character with like a good personality. I mean, good in the sense they are a virtuous person, right? And for some reason they are like corrupted into being a bad person or like a evil entity. So like for example, imagine like you have like a hero character that like saves lives, and then the villains find a way to like corrupt the character and turn her evil. That's kind of like where corruption usually goes. And so the problem I had initially with the story was like neither Pen or Kitchen have really that type of dynamic where they are like good characters, but I had to find a way to corrupt them. And so the way I found, like I was thinking about like maybe like an evil god or like an evil entity on space or something. But then I think you mentioned that Pan, when you were talking like about the lore, I think you mentioned Pan had like a joke with mold, right? With
Yeah,
moldy
yeah, yeah.
bread. And I was like, wait a second, maybe I can like use the corruption to like make like the mold being the corrupting agent. And so that's how the old space mold thing came about. And I was like, okay, this is really silly, but it fits their lore, right? It fits how they both Pan and Kitchen, because like Kitchen has the space aspect, and then Pan has the bread mold aspect. And from there, like the story kind of fell into place because I was thinking like, okay, so Kitchen is like corrupted by the space mold, and what's their dynamic, right? What's the setting? And I was like, okay, they are VTubers, so it makes sense for them to do like a collab stream, right, together. And I have read a few manga where people are streaming and then they end up having sex during stream, and I was like, okay, this is like perfect for them. They are both VTubers, they are both streamers. So the story kind of fell together from there, and then I thought like, oh yeah, Pan has the whole bread aspect, and to fit like her lore, and since she's the one who commissioned the manga, I thought, okay, so it's Pan stream. They are doing a collab stream with the pastries, and doing like a testing stream, and Kitchen, and that's where the story goes. So Kitchen got like infected by space mold, and that leads to the whole sexy time that happens later, right? That's pretty much how the story came about.
So basically, what ties the whole story together is the fucking space mode.
Yeah, exactly. It's the space mold. It's the thing that kind of the glue that puts them together. Like I thought about other options, like some evil entity or something with the corruption, but that like with this, it's like more. It's like lighter in the sense that's not really permanent or anything. Like the space mold like goes away at the end, and it's kind of silly. And I thought like the more silly story would fit better for them because they are both like VTubers, very a bit very uh, like they aren't really. It's not supposed to be like a serious story, and since it's not really a serious story, I thought about the space mold being like a kind of a silly thing that fit well.
Yeah, and you did add like quite a lot of silly bread jokes
Yeah,
along
like
the way.
across like the story. Like I thought like will the problem with the bread jokes is that with eromanga like you can go like a
I should
variety.
add like pictures on the
Yeah,
stream.
yeah, you aren't showing anything just because. Don't
Hold
forget,
on.
Twitch might ban you if you're going the way of ban, being banned by Twitch. So be careful not to show anything too graphic. But yeah, like the bread jokes, like because they are both kind of silly. I say they have like gremlin energy, especially Pen. That's not really being like what's the word? Like being, I'm
Why
not
is
being
it like
critical
this?
of them or anything. Oh yeah, that's the omake, right? I'm not really being critical of them or anything, but they have both that kind of like a bit like high energy, high intensity like energy, and so I didn't think being like a very serious story would fit, and so I thought, oh yeah, like bread jokes, like they almost write themselves. Um, so that's why
Do it.
I kinda decided to add like a few.
So, honestly though, the space mode thingy, I think it's genius.
Thank you. Like,
I think it's genius,
like
man.
one of the things about being a writer, and that's kind of why I think this project was kind of fun for me, is because I think I operate better when I have restrictions, and some people are total opposite. Like some people work better when they have like total freedom, and I think I'm the opposite. So when you sent me the tags, for me that was like a challenge to make everything work and to make a cohesive story with that, and that's kind of why the story ended up being completely restricted by the tags, because if there were no tags I would have a little bit more trouble writing the story. Maybe the stream aspect would be the same, but the story would be completely different, right? It would probably be more vanilla, probably.
Yeah.
So in that sense, the fact
If
that
you didn't have any tags to like conform to, what do you think would you write?
I don't know. I would have asked them what sort of things they would want to have, and like I doubt either of them would be like they would want to like be with bondage or corruption or whatever. So it would probably more vanilla. Maybe not using the toys. Probably it would definitely be more vanilla oriented. Like maybe I would have ended up with the testing stream, the same concept, but probably it would be more vanilla. I would say. I'm not sure what would happen, to be honest.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking,
they did like restrict anything non-Yuri, so
yeah, exactly. Like the Yuri, exactly.
Yep.
Like if it was just Pan without Kichen, I'm not sure if I would have written like a random guy, like those faceless guys that often end up in like a manga.
what I had in mind, because that was actually the first plan. The first plan was just Pan,
Just Pan.
and what I have like envisioned in mind was like a buff dude, but the head is like just bread. The head is like a loaf of bread.
That would be even sillier. That
And
would be
instead of
even
having
sillier.
a schlong, he would like have a baguette.
Oh my god. Oh god. That would be really fun.
Yeah,
Baguette
and
Man.
probably way less work for me
Way less
compared to
way less
compared to
work.
making it Yuri. Making it Yuri and having two female characters was Jesus Christ. It's probably almost double the work.
So you're
Not
saying
completely
having two
double.
female characters would be more work than having like a faceless dudes? I guess with the
Yeah,
faceless dude you would just
definitely.
show the action would just focus on Pen, right?
Yep.
I see.
Like
Interesting.
compared to like having two characters, you have to like give emphasis
Mm-hmm.
to them both.
Yeah.
And I think that's also partly the reason why I ended up with 21 pages instead of 18, because
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
I was I was trying to give like a balance action for them too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the initial like drafts for the story was basically the same as the final product, like in the broad strokes.
Yep.
But we eventually realized that Pan didn't have a lot of time, right? At the end, like when they
Yeah,
switch
yeah, yeah.
the roles. And
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, I initially, Pisan said initially, like, between 16 and 20 pages, right? So, I left, like, tried to plan for 18 pages. But then, as we were, like, as Pisan was, like, drawing the drafts, we concluded that, like, Pen had too little action. Or, like, in the middle of the Arrow manga, they switch roles, and so Pan becomes like the dominant and Kitchen becomes the sub, and like we realized that Pan had too little focus during that final section or that ladder half, so Vicen started like adding more pages. And like I was like, okay, so you're giving more work to yourself, all right.
Yeah, I was giving more work to myself,
Yeah, but
Jesus.
I think in the end it was a good idea. Like uh, I also did like basic paneling, but like the paneling ended up not being. It ended up being useful for like the general events on the page, but like the paneling itself, I tried to do something, but I'm not really good at it.
Yeah,
So
even me, I was struggling with the paneling as well. And we had like way too many panels at
yeah, at
first.
some point there were too many panels, and it's not really.
So I had to like disperse them into more pages.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
that's alright.
uh
It ended up
yeah,
pretty
I
good.
think it's a
Mhm.
crazy good success. I did get like some learning opportunity, especially from the one who's publishing it. They
Oh
did
yeah.
comment on like the allowances for the book, and there are some parts that is a bit pushing it too much. Like I did add like a little bit of allowance, but not too much because I thought it was enough, but it was a little bit pushing it too much, quote unquote. They said
You with allowance you mean what exactly? I'm not sure if
like
I know what that
how some
means.
texts should be not too far off at the edge of the paper.
I see.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. It's not maybe not too designed for print. Is that like what you
Yeah,
mean?
kind of like that. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All
Yep.
right. Yeah, that's kind of like learning experience. Like we are both learning. I think for a first attempt, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so
it's
too.
very
Yeah.
good. I think it's saying pretty good. Like I think it's very good. I kind of know more or less if I ever have the opportunity to write a manga again. I think I can do a much better job,
Yeah, me too.
especially with communicating my ideas or the story, because I initially wrote like the draft a little bit wonky. It wasn't really very programmed to like or very direction to a manga. It was kind of wonky. So I think I can do a better job in the future if it happen if the opportunity ever arises. I think I can do a better job.
Yeah, if I had any realization for like doing this Zero manga, it's me being like a complete beginner at it. I started the like having it as a subathon reward. I had like quite the confidence that I'm gonna be able to pull it off, and then like as I was working on it during the sketches, I was like still a little bit confident, but when I started to like do
This,
the final
yeah,
inking and the final rendering, especially the final rendering, I was like, God damn, I'm so much of an amateur.
yeah. Like there was a running joke that I kept saying to Pisan that he wouldn't be able to finish before the end of November, and he was like, "No, I can finish." And we almost made a bet about it. But
To be fair, if I didn't have a thesis,
Right.
as I was working alongside the eromanga, I'm pretty confident that I would have finished it.
uh, I guess so. I guess you could probably pull it off, especially like in the last few days. You were like doing like
Yeah.
every like 10 pages a day or something.
I did 21 pages of rendering
Oh my god.
in 2 days.
Yeah. And we ended up never doing that bet just because I didn't have anything to bet with.
Yeah.
So we ended up not doing it.
Worst
But
decision of your life,
it was
mate.
decision of my life because I was sure you couldn't finish it before the end of November. Because like manga really is very time consuming and like expensive to make as you experienced, and I kind of knew how much work would go into like drawing everything and rendering. So I
Yeah.
was pretty sure you wouldn't be able to finish before the end of November, but yeah, since I didn't have anything to bet with, I ended
What
up.
happened was I overestimated my skills and I underestimated the workload I'm gonna have in uni.
Yeah, uni always gives you more work than you expect. That's kind of a running thing.
Yeah, but it kind of feels good though. Like for me, I don't know why, but like doing like the final stand, the final push of rendering like all the pages in 2 days, it feels good for me to do those stuff.
Yeah, you get into like the
Or maybe
flow,
I'm just
right?
workaholic,
You
man.
get
Maybe
into
I'm
the
just
flow. You
workaholic.
get into
Yeah,
the
this
flow.
the flow. It's so good. It's so I don't know, satisfying in a way.
Yeah, sometimes with writing, I also get into the flow. It's rare, but sometimes it happens. Like, especially when I'm like editing. I'm a weird writer where I prefer editing than writing drafts. Most writers are the opposite. So like sometimes I just edit, and I can like spend an entire day editing a novel. So I know what. And sometimes when I'm drafting, I'm also getting to the flow, and like I can write for like 2 hours at once. Even though I don't really like drafting a lot.
Me, I'm more into sketching, like art wise.
Yeah.
I really love doing the sketches compared to
Yeah,
actually finishing the piece.
most people love most artists I've met prefer the sketches too. There's like a guy I've been talking with who like has a really like an art style with like very thick lines. And
Mm-hmm.
but the problem is that he says he hates doing line art, and I'm like, that's the best part. Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, like I like sketching, but doing line art, I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of like your distinctive style of your art, and you don't like doing it. I kind of find it funny, but I guess everyone has different
He's so
things
me.
that
I also hate the line art. The line art is the process I despise the most.
really. That's kind of I've told this story before, but like when I was trying to learn how to draw, line art was like the one thing I liked doing because because I felt I knew more or less what I was doing. And like of course if you see like my line art when I was drawing, it's like terrible. But like in the moment it kind of felt good. And it was like the one thing I liked. I guess like coloring was also pretty fun, but like it's kind of funny that's the one thing I kind of liked doing. And so yeah, I always work opposite to most people. It's kind of funny. I'm always like going against the current in that sense.
I see. Because like for me, like doing art is pretty much a way of communicating, like mainly.
I agree.
Even if it's like commission, like you're still trying to communicate a certain concept or a scene.
Yeah.
And for me, probably like 80% of it comes from the sketch.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
And probably the other it's like writing a like an essay, like you're doing the draft probably like 70 or 80% of what you want to convey is there, and then at the end you're just gonna like polish everything
I'm
up.
gonna push against a little bit there,
Yeah,
just
go on.
because we are like see our conversations end up always going in tangents. But I think this is interesting because like with writing there's a little problem, which is that most people are always expecting writing to be polished, and that's kind of like a consequence, I think, of like the education system and in general, like when you consume a book, that's kind of like highly polished, highly edited, right? So when like you read a non polished piece of writing, you can definitely, at least I think it's true for everyone, but it's definitely true for me. Like you can definitely tell it's not polished, and then like the momentum, because the difference with writing and art, and it's like with art you are like capturing the image in like a few seconds, maybe a minute at most, but with writing you are investing a lot of time to read. Even if you are a fast reader, like you're investing minutes or hours into reading.
True, true.
And the concept writing has is flow, and it's something I can't really explain. But you notice when like a piece of writing doesn't have flow, because it's very difficult to read, and it starts boring you. It starts like being very difficult to read, to keep your attention. It starts being very difficult, and you can definitely notice. So all of this is to say, with art you can like get away in quotes with just like drawing a sketch, because like you said, I think 80% of the idea you want to transmit can be shown in the sketch. But with writing you can't just show someone a first draft without polishing it, because people will not read it. They will like notice it's like very unpolished, and they'll lose focus.
I see.
That's my
Damn.
opinion. I think you can argue against it, but like
I honestly won't. I agree actually.
as a reviewer, like I've been reviewing a lot of texts. Like one of the things people might know me for is like last year there was a contest. I guess this year, like there was a contest for like writing, like light novel writing contest, and I was crazy enough to read and review the 20 finalists. It was
Ooh.
exactly as much work as I think, even if like like in on average each like work was like 10,000 words, 20,000 words. That's maybe like 50 pages each at most. 20 is like I read a lot, right? And I wrote like a review for it, and the finalists ranged in quality like a lot. There were very good entries, and there were like complete shit entries. And like the problem with the shit entries, many of them were like difficult to even understand what was going on, and like I started to getting so bored reading it, because like when
But you
writing
have
is
to
not
finish
polished,
reading it.
but like I didn't finish every I didn't
Okay.
finish every entry. But like I'm doing a review now. Oh, we have a raid.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
welcome,
Wait, let me
raiders.
just.
I was going on a tangent about writing.
Anyways, yeah, Raiders, welcome in.
Welcome,
I am
Raiders.
Pishan, and this guy right here is
Guy
wait,
raising
what do I call you even? Do I call you like Mr. Trite? Trite. I just call you Trite.
Just call me
Screw
Trite.
that. Yeah.
Just call me Trite. Although I'm using a
This.
female avatar.
Yeah. This guy is Trite. He's the author of the eromanga we were
Eromanga.
working on.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just finish the thought I was doing. Like I just finished like the other day reading like a review commission someone asked me, and like I'm not blasting this person because every writer has been in this phase, but like it was extremely difficult to read through the entire thing, because like the writing is not good. It's like very, very spotty. Like it doesn't really have like grammatical mistakes or anything, but it's like I couldn't really understand like what they wanted to communicate with me, and like that happens to everyone. Like I was in that phase, and even if the story was great, it was so difficult to read. No one would read it. Right, and the story isn't very good either. But like that's kind of the problem with writing, and especially like prose writing. You need to like focus on the writing and polish things to like a shine, to like a sheen, right? You need to polish things so much so people will even give your manuscript a chance or your story a chance. And art is a little bit difficult. Like there's that joke on like Twitter and Blue Sky also that like artists are like, why did my sketch get more views or more likes than the final rendered piece? I'm sure that has happened to you too.
Yeah, it
Although
has. It has.
you don't really share a lot of sketches.
I do
You
almost all
do.
the time.
Okay,
I
so
share the sketches I
sorry,
make.
I probably have missed it, but yeah, that like kind of happens a lot with artists, and
Yep.
the reason that happens is because like you said, 80% of the idea is in like 20% of the work, and the sketches also have that like mental, like like let me explain that better. Like sketches are like have hold a lot of possibilities. And so when people see a
Yeah.
sketch, they kind of see what they want to see. They can like imagine how the final rendered piece is.
And then with it,
And then
when
with
it
the
actually
rendered
gets
piece,
finished, it's like,
yeah, it's kind of like less
that's that
impactful.
now.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a funny effect on like the psyche of people. And like writing is like the opposite. It's like if you read a non-polished piece of writing, it's like it's not polished and you're not giving it a second chance. Like I do the same thing. Like even if I'm like a writer and a reviewer, like it's the only reason I finished this piece of work, like the review, is because people, like the person paid me to do it. Because like I wouldn't have finished it because like in the first 5 minutes of reading, I immediately knew like the problems, right? And it's unfortunate because I know this person like probably has a lot of love for that world and those characters, but like bad writing, like it's like a deck of cards, like a castle, a card castle, like what's the word? A deck, a house of cards. Sorry, in Portuguese is a castle. Like it's like a house of cards, and like if the base is not solid, like the rest of the entire thing like collapses. It's unfortunate that like
Yeah.
writing is as that kind of problem. Yeah, I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry about the
Actually,
implications of writing.
about the like the there's this thing we study in art that the human brain has like this specific ability to fill in details that aren't
Uh
there.
huh. Exactly.
So, like I think that's what happens with sketches,
Exactly.
and this is
That's
very
exactly.
prominent in impressionist art.
Mm-hmm.
That impressionism basically it's like you're trying to get an impression of a certain thing, but you don't have to like draw every single essence of that thing. You're just trying to get its impression, and this is
Uh
really
huh.
used a lot in the background because you don't really want the background to be like super detailed, so
Yeah,
you're just
because
gonna do like
it
an
steals
impressionism
attention
of it.
from the character, right?
Yep. But then the human brain, like for example, you just put in a bunch of rectangles in a horizon. The human brain kind of just like if it's in with the proper values and colors
Uh
and
huh.
whatnot, the human brain just kind of snaps and then ooh, those are buildings.
Yeah,
Even though
exactly.
if you look into it more, it's like just boxes.
There's like that. You probably know this. There's like that psychological phenomenon called the pareidolia, I think,
Oh, I didn't know what
which
it's
is
called.
let me see if I'm saying it right. Pareidolia is like when you see faces where there are no faces.
Ah,
It's like a psychological phenomenon because like the human brain is like tuned to see faces,
yep.
because like we communicate visually and like we end to see each other, right, and recognize each other. So like pareidolia is like when like you put like two lines and like two lines horizontal and like another line horizontal and you like see see a face there, right? That's that psychological phenomenon. So like the human brain is very good at
We are like
filming.
phones, but with like way better face
Yeah, like
recognition.
this. Imagine like the thing I send on chat now, that emoticon. It's literally like three dashed lines, but you see a face there, right?
Yep.
That's that's
I
kind
think
of
there
it.
was even like a paper experimenting
Mm-hmm.
on babies, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
inborn babies, like in the womb of their parents. They would like flash like a three light bulbs or like three LED lights
Uh-huh.
on the navel of the mom, and
Exactly.
then the light kind of pierces through the skin, and then the baby would see,
Oh, interesting.
and
Yeah,
then there was like reactions and whatnot.
yeah. Sespy sent another emoticon face. Yeah, that's another face, right? You see like a face there, and objectively, it's just like three symbols that that mean something else. Um, that's another face. Yeah, I
Yep,
think
the brain and
that's
its wonders.
the brain
Actually,
and its wonders.
a lot of art. I mean, a lot of the parts of learning art is actually learning how we perceive
Mm-hmm.
the things we do.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. Yep. Like if you're trying to learn values, it's like based upon how the brain processes black and white more in like a higher hierarchy compared to colors when it comes to like determining form. So there's like a hierarchy to it. I think if I'm not
Interesting.
mistaken, it's like value, line, and then color. So that's like
Yeah,
the three hierarchies that you base on to
yeah, that
see a
makes sense.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of art, like even the line weights, it's very based on psychology, which is I find it really interesting.
Yeah, I find it interesting too. Like with writing, it's kind of the same. Not really the same thing, but like you don't really describe scenes in detail. You just like try to like it's kind of bad to like describe a scene in too much detail, because like you kind of
Oh,
want to
really?
yeah, because you kind of want to stick with like a middle ground where like
Hmm?
if you are overly descriptive, at least I think most readers kind of want to imagine the scene in their mind, and if you are overly descriptive, you are like kind of like funneling their their perception to like a specific idea of the scene, and also it's kind of boring to describe a scene in too much detail. So like you have to find the middle ground where you describe it, but you also leave a little bit to the imagination.
So subjectivity is very
Yeah,
important
exactly. Yeah, it's
in.
kind of bad
Damn, I
form.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of bad form to like be overly descriptive with like a scene. Like imagine, I don't know, someone comes into a library and like you aren't going to describe every single book that's in the library. You're kind of like using like adjectives. It's more important to like use emotion to describe the library and senses. So like it smells of old books, it feels
Mm.
majestic, it like it's quiet, like stuff like that, instead of like being like, oh yeah, it has 20 shelves, each of them 20 meters across, and each shelf has 100 books, and the books are ordered by the specific like whatever ordering system they use. Like that's it's more important to like transmit like emotion and senses than being like objective descriptions of the scenes.
I guess it's also same with like
Yeah,
artists.
it's same with
I
artists.
think one of the very important, I mean not important as is, but it's like one of the things you kind of get a sense of
Mm-hmm.
as more experience like gets into you when drawing is
Mm-hmm.
that the amount of detail you put, like there's like a middle ground.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a
exactly.
point where too much detail is not being productive anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and I think mastery in like experience in art kind of gives you a sense when to stop putting too much detail.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like, it's more important. I know, especially for like animation, it's more important to like be transmit like an idea, especially when you are like transmitting movement, than being 100% anatomically correct. I know that's true for animation. I'm not sure if it's true for like
Mm.
artwork, like static artwork. But like when you're doing like animation, like exaggerating movements, it's kind of more important than being like 100% anatomically correct. That's kind of
Yup.
more for games, especially. But like I'm pretty sure, like you can like, and this kind of goes in a certain way goes back to the eromanga, because like obviously what happens in the eromanga, some of those things aren't anatomically right, but that's not really the point. The point was to like transmit the emotion, right?
Ooh, damn, that's a nice way to say it.
That's like
Holy.
if you think about it objectively, like what's happening in that eromanga is not realistic, like for real people to go through, and especially like the X-ray stuff. But like that's not really the point. The point is the emotion you're transmitting with those scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like when you like the other day, okay, this is kind of inside baseball. Like the other day I was talking with Pisan about boob squishing, right? And like this is going somewhere, and like I
Oh
showed him
yeah.
some artists that like exaggerate a lot on the boob squishing aspect, right? And you were like, damn, that's a lot, that's like liquid. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of not anatomically right, but that's not the point. The point is like the emotion you're transmitting with the artwork. And in that sense, especially like eromanga, exaggerating things, it's kind of okay. That's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
why like everyone is like massive schlongs in like eromanga. Not everyone, but like that's very common, because like the
Because
idea,
everyone wants to have a massive schlong.
yeah, exactly. Like especially if you read like some more extreme stuff, like that's not anatomically correct. Like that's not how people operate in real life. But like that's not the point. The point is that you are exaggerating in real life, and that's kind of hot. That's kind of the best way I can explain. Like that's kind of the porn does the same thing. Like real life porn also exaggerates a lot of what happens, right? And arrow manga is the same thing. Like the sentiment or the emotion you are transmitting of the characters like enjoying themselves is more important than being 100% anatomically correct. And like if you read like an arrow manga that's like very vanilla, very anatomically correct, like it's kind of boring, because
Oh, I
like
agree.
you are not following like you're trying to communicate like something to like the reader, that's like they are not really experiencing like what those characters are experiencing, and like especially
Really
like
might
arrow manga.
be the reason why I prefer it over corn. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Arrow manga
corn
exaggerates
is kind
stuff.
of boring, man.
Yeah,
Corn is kind of boring.
even real corn, as you say, is also exaggerated, right? It's
Yeah.
also
Yeah, yeah.
a performance in a way, and arrow manga is just that going to the next level, and that's kind of why exaggerating certain things it's fine.
I love how we we are focusing more on like, I mean, kind of makes sense, I guess. Like focusing more on like the stuff that we had to put into
Yeah,
the Ero manga, and I guess it's a very artistic like side of us.
yeah,
Like
and
both,
that's
I mean, we're both artists. Like
you're both
some
artists.
people, they kind of don't use the term artist for everything, but me personally, I use the term artist for pretty much any creative
Yeah,
pursuit.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Yeah, it's kind of art, because like you said, art is just a way to communicate. Like it's
Yep.
a way to communicate emotions, sentiments, feelings to someone else, an idea to someone else, without using like just words. It's like a way to better communicate. Like that's kind of why some writers. I keep talking about writing because it's like what I know, but like some writers have trouble communicating like emotions with their characters, And that's kind of the reason. It's kind of like they are very overly descriptive, and that's kind of why the number one rule you'll see writers use, it's show don't tell. You probably have heard it. And like show don't tell is just show what's happening and not tell me what's happened or what's happening.
I actually never heard of that.
You never heard of
damn.
it? It's like the number one rule you're gonna see about writing.
I mean, I don't really write at all, man.
That's true. It's like if you try learning anything about writing, it's like the number one rule is just show don't tell. And the idea about that is just show what's happening, and with show, it's like show the emotion of what's happening instead of like, yeah, so we went to whatever, this place and that place, and someone got stabbed, and we went to the hospital, and then whatever. Like, no, you want to show what's happening. You want to show the person getting stabbed, the emotion that's happening, the like smell of blood or whatever.
Oh wait, I think. Oh my god.
Go on.
I think this is the reason why I hate a lot of like local shows we have here in the Philippines, like TV shows. It's like this is one thing that I always say when I watch something. It's one thing that I hate, like seeing, is that they pretty much just spoon feed you what is happening, or like they even sometimes go to the point that they tell what the character is feeling or something like that, instead of like just showing it by their faces, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
Pretty bad form.
Or like implying some stuff like that.
Although show don't
Oh man, it makes so much sense now.
Although show don't tell, it's like not 100% like a ironclad rule. It's like if you know what you're doing, you can kind of skim around it, like ignore it a little bit. Like especially when like you're recalling an event that happened in the past, or like an event that's not really important. You can like tell what happened, what happens, and like that's kind of a way to break the text a little bit. But like in 90% of situations, show don't tell is a very good rule to remember when writing.
I must say though, I didn't know I didn't like before this convo. I'm like I didn't know much about writing at all. But I'm like now I'm just being I'm being just
talking like I'm
mind blown.
Expert, but I'm like I'm a novice, right? My novels haven't really. I guess the one I have like on Royal Road. God, that's a difficult word to say. The one I have on Royal Road now, it's kind of doing all right. People are enjoying, but like I'm a newbie as well. Like this is kind of stuff I've been learning over the years. I think I'm a pretty decent writer. I don't think I'm like exceptional. Like if you want to put in skill level, I think Pisan is like a much better artist or an illustrator than I am a writer. If you want to put it that way, but that's kind of my perception.
Damn.
Yeah, I think you are. I've told you this before. I think you are a pretty good very good artist. One of the best.
Let me just put my blush on. Tried this praising me too much.
It's not too much. Like I think I have a pretty good eye for art, and I think you are like in the top 5% of artists, or maybe top 1% easily. And I've been telling you like you're about to blow up, and I think you have kind of blown up a little bit on Twitter, and maybe with that.
So far, the only works I've seen from Trite is like the one for Gomiko, the one for Rina, an unreleased character yet.
My novel is available, but like my novel has a few problems, but it's available for free, and anyone can read it. But like, I keep saying this, but even if I think the writing is like polished to a sheen, like 1 in 15, 1 in 10, or maybe 1 in 20 people who like say they are gonna read it, like just one person ends up reading it, and I'm not really faulting anyone for that, because most people don't read often, so like I'm not really faulting people for not reading. But yeah, that's kind of like the problem with writing, is just
I do
love
enjoy
this so
reading
much.
actually. I actually enjoy reading, but like being busy recently, I actually have quite a lot of books that I haven't started yet.
Yeah, I'm
But I
not.
have it like just lying there in my shelf.
That's way too common. Like, I'm not faulting anyone for not reading it, but like that's kind of a phenomenon that happens.
Ooh, I
Where
guess that's another advantage of art. You can just, hey, look at this. Slaps them with a picture.
yeah, exactly. And like right
Unlike
next
a
to it.
book, you can't really do that with a book, man. Sad.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and you can like
Okay.
shit talk me if you want.
I'm gonna shit talk you.
All right. Be right back.
Yes. Bye. I love how so what happened here is just one night I was just, hey, try it. We should do like a collab stream together and like talk about the eromanga. And then I didn't even bother like having like an outline of what we're gonna talk about. I'm just that confident that we're just gonna end up yapping, because that's what always happens whenever we're like hanging out on we often hang out on Discord in the Hitotachi server. Wait, let me do that. Hitotachi Tachi. I mean no. Discord. Discord. We hang out there and we work on the stuff. Sometimes even if we're not working on the Ero manga, we often hang out there before. And we often just, I don't know what happens, man. We just kind of stray off and talk about a bunch of stuff. Very random topics. But yeah, somehow it just happens, man. I don't know why. You learn a lot from that. Yeah, man. I don't write at all, and I'm just being mind blown about all the information I'm getting.
All right.
I do enjoy reading though. Like currently, I'm reading The Trial by I forgot the name of the author. Was it Franz Kafka? I don't know. Or was it Fyodor Dostoevsky? I forgot. Yeah, I'm enjoying novels. I do enjoy reading novels. I haven't read any novel by Trite though. I only
I
read.
just have one. I guess like I have like a little bit of my story. Like I wrote my first novel about 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, and it was pretty terrible, obviously. And like over the next 7 years, I spent like a lot of time like improving it over and over. And then in 2020, like I wrote the final version of it, and like I submitted it to a couple of like indie light novel publishers, and one of them accepted me, and we published the novel, but it didn't like sell very well. It wasn't like a flop, but it didn't really sell a lot, and so like over the like next few years, I like went back and like improved it a little bit. And
Now that I
this
think of
year,
it,
yeah.
the a book being
Mm-hmm.
sold relies a lot probably on like putting marketing aside, it would probably rely a lot on word of mouth, no?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like unlike other products that people can see visually
Mm-hmm.
what the product's quality is.
Mm-hmm.
The book cover doesn't, I mean, it does tell quite a bit, but probably
Yeah.
marginally what's inside of the book.
Right. And like
So,
the problem
damn.
with my novel, with that novel, is that me being me, I decided to like write a very difficult story to market. And so
Mm,
what happens is that there's like a big twist, like a little bit after the middle. And if I spoil the twist, I think it kind of robs the reader of like the experience.
mm-hmm.
And so if I don't spoil the twists, like the rest of the novel is not particularly like as exceptional, and so it's very difficult to market with like conventional means, because if I spoil the twists, I ruin like the or the intended reader experience. But if I don't spoil the twist, I don't have much to say about it other than trust me, bro, this is gonna get good, right? And
I see. So stuff like eromangas are like easy to market because for some reason if you just tell people, oh, this is an eromanga, spicy stuff, and they're like, awooga, I'm gonna buy this shit.
yeah, like the way to market an arrow manga is very easy. Just have the first page have like the main girl.
Yeah.
She can be dressed. She doesn't need to be like naked or anything. Just have the main girl there. That's like how you market an arrow manga, because like at least for me, like 90% of the arrow manga I read, I'm like, oh yeah, this girl is cute, I'm gonna read this. That's pretty much how
Bro,
I go.
I feel you, man.
And like
feel
that's
you.
super easy to market an arrow manga, because like, oh yeah, I want to see this girl getting railed. That's kind of what I'm here for. Like, if like the girl isn't cute, I'm probably like, the tags also help, because like if I see an arrow manga that has a cute girl but like the tags are like, I don't know, vor or whatever, I'm like, no. Or feet. Vor and feet are like on the same level for me. I don't know if you noticed. Like if I see a tag I don't like, I'm gonna skip that arrow manga. But like if the tags are fine and like the girl is cute, that's what I'm gonna read, right? So the way to market, that's why the arrow manga we wrote, the first, like if you remember, like the first few pages, the first 2 pages have pen and key, and that was very intentional to show them both, because that way, like that's kind of how you sell the arrow manga, right?
I see.
More than like in like your particular case, this arrow manga has a cover, and like the cover art also helps. But like when I was like laying out the panels, I very specifically put like a big shot of pen and a big shot of key, because like that's what you're here for. Like you have to show how cute they are, because that's what people are there for. They want.
Yeah, about the cover,
Oh, yeah,
and
the
a
cover.
funny little thing about the cover is the cover we have like pan and key on a bed. And
that's right.
that was actually a mistake on my side, because I scanned through the story Trite made, and I was aware that a lot of it is gonna happen in the sofa, in the couch, and I was like, I wasn't thinking that it would all happen in the sofa. So I ended up drawing them on the bed for the cover.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
So,
fine.
yeah, there's
because,
that.
Like, the cover of the arrow manga rarely
That's
are
true.
like events that happen in the actual story, so you're fine. I don't think
No one
most
would
people
probably
care.
even notice if I don't tell them.
Exactly.
No one would probably even care that. Oh my God, Pisan, you didn't draw them on the sofa on the cover. What are you doing? You're a failure as an artist.
Exactly. And like the funny thing about the sofa stuff is that I like when I was writing the story, I was like, oh yeah, everything that's happened here happens in the sofa. This is gonna be kind of hard for Pisan to draw, because like a sofa is not very spacious to have that kind of action. And like at some point in the draft, you had like a very wide sofa, and I was like, Pisan, the sofa can't be that wide. It's a small sofa.
Yeah, I had to adjust a lot.
Yeah.
If I wasn't like very experienced with perspective, the sofa would probably be quite the torture for a typical artist.
That's kind of why.
Oh man.
Yeah, some arrow
But
manga.
the thing I loved about the sofa is the fact that it's like not enough space. It kind of helps me keep the characters always in contact. I think that's very very nice to have.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's kind of why like some arrow manga kind of happening like the void, with like without like a context of the place, and I'm like, okay, this works, but like you could have like drawn the bed or whatever, or the like bathroom. Some happen in the bathroom. And like now that you say it, I'm kind of reminded of some arrow manga that happened in like the bathtub. And kind of that's very very constrictive.
If you check
Yeah.
the eromanga, you would actually see a lot of panels without a background. Like the background is either just black or it has like some grainy effect to
Yeah,
it
exactly.
or
Like it happened in
stuff
of
like that.
that kind of reminds
Because
me.
I
Go on.
am I am not gonna bother drawing the sofa in every single panel. Not to
Exactly.
mention we have like quite a lot of panels.
Yeah,
I'm
there.
not gonna draw the sofa every single time, man. Also, I
Yeah,
think it helps
understandable.
to have like the I think the background being black and then you're gonna put in like some texture. The texture you put kind of shows like the emotion and whatnot. I think it really helps. Like on the part where Pan like takes the I mean where the space mode thingy
Mhm.
kicks in, we
Yeah.
have like some distorted stuff
Oh
in
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That works
So I
really
think
well.
not only does it help me reduce the workload of like drawing the background, it also helps like conveying
Yeah, exactly.
the
See, like
emotion of the
emotion is
character.
more important than
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
correct.
Oh my god, welcome to Peach and Trite's manga making class.
Exactly, exactly.
Even though we are complete
We
beginners
are
and we have
complete beginners.
only wrote and drew one manga so
But
far.
like the thing is, we are not complete beginners because I know kind of more or less how to write a story, and you
Oh
know how
yeah.
to draw like anatomy
I mean,
well and like
obviously,
breadcrumbs.
I know how to draw because
So
I've been an illustrator for pretty
of
much
course,
5 years now.
yeah, exactly.
But
Like
that's the thing. Like, yes, I can draw beautiful illustrations, but that doesn't mean I can do a proper manga unless I do like some research about it.
yeah, and like you did some research, and I also
Yeah,
did
I
some
did.
research. Like, and I had a plan for like what I like the story I wanted to convey.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I don't think I'll ever be like in a it would be like a shot to the moon for me to come up with a story like that.
Yeah,
If I end up like doing the writing for Dairo manga myself, gonna be probably something super generic, just cute girls doing cute things kind of
I mean, you
thing.
can start with like a 4 coma manga, like the gag ones
Nah,
that are like, no, you have to go bigger, right?
we go big, man.
You
I
have to go
mean,
big.
when I started the thing, like having the plan of having an Ero manga, I already decided to like hire a writer if I ever do so, because I'm not gonna bother learning how to write, man. I am not gonna do that. Go
Exactly.
big or go home.
Ex-
Exactly.
See, a 200-page manga is the
Honestly,
next
though,
step.
yeah. Maybe not too big. Maybe not too big. Don't kill yourself. uh, oh yeah, that's another thing that I want to say. If you're not that proficient yet with like drawing, like for example, you're still struggling to do, let's say, perspective or especially anatomy. If you're gonna draw an ero manga, especially anatomy, uh, refrain to make a an ero manga that is too long.
Yeah, I
You're
agree.
probably gonna end up depressed and frustrated
Uh,
because you're gonna have to like work on it. Maybe you're even gonna end up not finishing it because you're just gonna realize that, oh shit, not only am I struggling making the manga, I'm also struggling doing the anatomy. I'm also struggling doing the perspective, the emotions, the facial expressions and whatnot. And then you're just gonna be overwhelmed with stuff that you don't know how to do and whatnot. As to compared to me, for example, the stuff that I was like uh being frustrated with was the paneling because I didn't know how to do paneling
yeah,
for
that's
a manga. I had to like do my research, and then the text bubbles. I didn't know much about the text bubbles, the the textures that you're gonna use in an ero manga because I'm used to doing full color illustrations, stuff like those, and trying to not detail every single panel because I'm used to doing illustrations and a single illustration is pretty much mandatory for you to make it look good.
yeah,
But in manga, that's not the case. You don't have to make every panel that much effort. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, even for me, that I still had to learn along the way. And that's what I meant when I said I feel like so much of an amateur while I was working on it, because it made me realize how much stuff I don't actually know. And then I was imagining, like, imagine doing that while still not having proper fundamentals. I'm like, oh no, that would that would be really hard on yourself. So yeah, just a friendly tip: if you want to do an eromanga, go for it, but don't make it too long. If you're not that experienced, definitely don't make it too long. 21 pages was long enough for me.
Yeah, exactly. And like, this is my advice for any potential writers out there. Please, for the love of God, for the love of Haruhi specifically, don't, if like you have an idea and you are a completely newbie writer, don't write a full novel for your first project. Try to write a short story first, get feedback on it. I know like most writers want to like have a specific story they want to write, and like they imagine like a big 10 volume or 20 volume epic, and like they want to be like the next J.K. Rowling or like the next, I don't know, let's see, Reiki Kawahara, which is like the author for Sword Art Online. Like, no offense, you're not going to be able to write something that good. Even if like you can criticize like Sword Art Online or Harry Potter or whatever for their writing and like the story structure, but like those things are like highly polished. They have been edited to hell and back. Like, you are like, if you are a newbie writer and it's like the first time you're writing something, you're not going to be able to write that. Trust me, like no one's going to be able to like read your cringy 100,000 words manuscript. Like, start small.
The first thing you
like,
the first thing you make will never be your
yeah,
masterpiece.
exactly. And like, imagine like someone who has never drawn before like tries to draw a full 200-page manga. It's not gonna go well, right? It's the same thing. And like, writers are so overconfident. Newbie writers are often so overconfident. And like, I feel bad because every writer I've met is like this, and I was the same way. So like, don't do the same mistake I have. Start small. Start with like a short story, like 2,000 words or 5,000 words, something like that. Start small. Get feedback. Improve your writing. Understand like the fundamentals, like show don't tell, what flow is, showing emotion, how to structure a story. You can learn pretty much 90% of the skills you need to be a writer by writing a short story and or writing short stories. And that's a stepping stone to like be able to make the epic story you want to make. And like, when you start learning, and like writing a full novel is different, it's like, it's significantly more difficult than writing like a short story. But like, the basic, like it's much easier to like go to someone and ask, oh yeah, I have like a 7-page short story for you to read, than like I have a 200-page novel.
Oh, definitely.
Completely different. And like, I'm gonna do a little bit of self-promotion here. I do have writing review commissions on VGen, and like, if someone comes to me and says like, I have a short story for you to read and help me with, and like, if it's like a short story and like 5,000 words, this is like my minimum amount I read, like, I can help you 90% of the way or 80% of the way in your writing journey, and you're gonna pay me much less for my work, right? For my advice. So I recommend like anyone who's like a writer or wants to be a writer, try to do smaller scale projects before, to like really understand like the basic stuff about like flow, about how to write interesting characters, all that stuff. And then when you feel you have the skills to be able to write a full novel, then you can like move on to like a full novel. That's my advice for today.
Yup. Always learn the first stuff, like
Yeah,
the
always learn
basics
the
and the
fundamentals,
foundations.
exactly.
and then try it on a small scale project, and don't go too big, or you'll just end up being frustrated and maybe even quitting. And this reminds me of I think we were talking about like back when we were working together. We were talking about artists like not trying to, but tend to like be too hard on themselves, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you work on a project that's too big, it's very likely for you to like put yourself down, especially if you're on the midst of it and you feel like, oh no, I won't be able to finish this anymore. I am mentally exhausted. I am losing my sanity. I swear to God, when I was rendering the pages, and I was like committed to finish it in 2 days, all the pages being rendered, I swear to God, I was losing hope halfway through, and I was losing my sanity, and yeah, I somehow managed to push through. But come on, man, I honestly don't want anyone to experience that, especially if you fail doing that. I think that's gonna be quite a hit on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it reminds me of the quote, my favorite quote from my favorite author. We just put that on stream. Yeah, this little thing. Yoink yoink yoink. It's by Albert Camus.
Oh yeah, that one. That one.
Yeah, the two opposing dangers that threaten every artist: resentment and self-satisfaction. It's like if you, as an artist, you gotta like balance that thing.
I agree.
You have to be not too arrogant that you think you're too good, or you also don't have to be like too hard on yourself. You have to somehow be able to balance that thing to, be able to do what you do.
Yeah, and I know.
Or you might just end up being depressed.
Yeah, I know.
Or being hateable because you're arrogant.
Yeah, I know so many artists who are like mega depressed about their own work. I don't know a lot that are overconfident.
I do know some. I do know
one. I have told this story, but probably not a good idea to show that.
That's
there's like an artist who blocked me on Twitter, and I think the guy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Was like a little bit arrogant. But I don't know a lot. Like personally, I don't know any artist that is like mega confident or too arrogant.
I'd say it's rather rare compared to the counterpart of being too hard on yourself.
Yeah, but writers is the opposite. Like most newbie writers are very overconfident.
Oh, I can see why. Wait, I actually started very arrogant. I actually started very arrogant when I was young. When I was a young little fish, I was like, I am the best. I am the best artist in this room. No one is better than me.
I mean, in this room, it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
And the best writer in this island.
But my perspective wasn't really wide back then. Like, I didn't really acknowledge other artists. Like, oh my god, they're so much better than me. No. I was like, in my small little world, I was the best artist. I was young.
Yeah, that's
we were all young and immature.
Yeah, we're all young and immature. Yeah, and most writers start off that way, and then when reality kicks in, they mellow out. They kind of get a little bit more realistic with their expectations.
Yeah, I agree with you with like, I think a bigger portion of it is like artists being hard on themselves. I see a lot of artists being depressed.
Very often.
Especially a lot of the time, the journey as an artist, not only with like drawing but other forms of art, it's sometimes not that rewarding. Like even especially monetary wise, it's not really that rewarding if you're starting out. And even with like feedback, sometimes you don't get the kindest people to give you feedback. Yeah, I think it's very common for artists, especially the ones that are like starting. Even with like artists in my level, like for artists in my level, it's not the matter of like rewards anymore. It's the matter of like existential crisis. Like, oh, Am I really just gonna draw cute anime girls for the rest of my life? Am I not supposed to do something more productive, something that could, give something for society, better things, stuff like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I think that's a, that's a very good profession to have.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I am faced with two routes of being an architect. I think I'll do fine as an architect, but currently I'm already doing well as an artist. But I am faced with the option of being an architect, where I would be designing literal structures as to compared to drawing cute anime girls. Like, if you would ask, majority would say like, the architecture is probably like a bigger of a scale thing. But for me, it doesn't matter. For me, I draw cute anime girls. I am happy. Therefore,
Yeah,
I shall draw more cute anime girls. But I doubt it's the same for everyone. I think a lot of people would have like an existential dilemma because of those stuff. I, I developed the existential dread before the skills. Actually, I was talking with my friends like I don't remember, maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, and I kind of opened up that I think I am a very short-sighted person, like perspective wise, not eyesight. I am short-sighted, but I don't mean that. I was like thinking, uh somehow I think being short-sighted helped me keep on my career, because as I started doing the art, as my career as an artist didn't really start that smoothly. I wasn't necessarily doing I wasn't doing art because I'm like trying to be an artist, because I've been like what do you call this, like discouraged to take it as a profession. But I wasn't really that big of a thinker when I was young. I didn't really think of it as a something that would be a long term. So I drew anyways. I drew anyways for some reason, because probably the dream that would have been broken because of the discouragement didn't exist in the first place. So I think being short-sighted for some reason somehow helped me, which is kind of funny. I just had to share that. It's just a funny thing that I realized recently. Maybe being short-sighted isn't that bad at all.
Uh, no, it depends on.
It depends, of course,
Yeah,
contextually. Yeah,
sometimes being too worried about the future doesn't really help. Yeah,
it's
putting
good to be able to live in the moment. Ooh, yeah, that's true. That wraps it up for me, I guess. Yeah, enjoy what you're doing, whatever it is. How about you? Try? How much did you enjoy writing for the eromanga?
Oh, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really fun, a different experience compared to what I used to do, and like having my story, even if like it's not like my most proud work. I'm not in the terms that like it's NSFW, like that's fine. The the like I don't think the story is like particularly exceptional. Like I know you keep praising the story, but like there's only so much I could do in like 20 pages, 20-ish pages. So like it's not my proudest story, but like just the fact that like my story got turned into a manga is kind of an opportunity like I never thought would be possible. So
I
I
think
really
why we're like
appreciate.
praising each other always, it's because of inexperience. Like I don't have experience with writing, so I'm like, holy shit, Tripe is a god in writing this story,
And
blah
like
blah blah. And then Tripe is also not experienced with art. And I'm like, and she's like,
yeah,
oh my god, Pisan, your art here is so good.
yeah, and like to be honest, like I sometimes I don't really praise you as often as I should, because like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, that's pretty much how we would talk about, because like I really appreciate your art, and like maybe sometimes I was like not as like vocal about the stuff you sent me, but It's just because like otherwise I'd keep like praising you all the time and it would get boring pretty fast. But yeah, like seeing my random ideas being turned into manga was especially by Pisan, who's just such a great artist, is like an exceptional opportunity. So in that sense, I really enjoyed writing it.
What's your favorite page? I'm curious. What's your favorite page
My favorite page. Oh dear.
in the eromanga?
Let me open it and see. I have like a one that popped to my mind, but I'm thinking if there's one that's more, that might be a little bit more. Let's see. Okay. I mean, all the pages are good, so this is kind of hard to pick one.
Mine is the one where
Go
there's
on
like
first.
just 3 panels of key, and the whole page is pretty much just black, and then there's like 3 panels of key slowly getting blurred as Pan
You know-
gets intoxicated.
That was my answer as well.
Oh damn!
Like I was like searching around for like one of the other pages, but like I think this page, yeah, it was the first one that popped into my mind.
And it's funny because it's the page that I spent the least time on. But
Exactly.
somehow it's my favorite page. It's just the best page
Yeah,
for
I
me.
think it just works, and that's kind of one thing I wrote on the draft. Like
Yeah.
the 4 pages, the 4 divisions of the 4 panels, and then it going to black, and a pen being like intoxicated or corrupted or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of my favorite because it's like it shows a lot of like momentum for the story, and like shows a lot of like the emotion of what's happening. Like it's kind of fun. We both chose a page that doesn't have any sexy stuff because the sexy stuff starts on the next page.
I guess we're really just not that down bad, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, for the entirety of the process of drawing the manga, reading trite stuff, I didn't really get aroused or anything. I'm just completely limp for throughout the process.
I'm not sure if I should answer that question, but that's
Ooh, I wanna know.
you wanna know? Yeah, while I was writing it, I got a little bit
Ooh,
got a little bit turned on. That's true. And like with some of the panels, like now I'm kind of immune to them, but like some of the pages, like some of the drafts you sent me, I got a little bit. It got to me a little bit, yeah. I'm sorry.
I be drawing
that's
spicy.
my confession. that's my confession today. But like now,
But I
I'm
do
kinda
hear-
immune. Now I kind of immune.
I do hear a lot of artists say that they don't really feel aroused for whatever NSFW thing they're
Yeah,
drawing.
that's true. I have heard that.
But I also hear some that do get aroused.
Because like,
I guess
the
it's
thing
different
is,
from
while
each other.
like, don't forget, like I was the first person in like this chain of events that came up with the story, right? And like when I was imagining the stuff happening, like it got to me a little bit. Yeah. It got to me a little bit. And like writing, like because I had to like write the descriptions and like very specifically for Pisan to follow, and like yeah, I got a little bit too.
And you even have what do you call it? Like you're not able to visually imagine
Yeah,
things.
I have kind of aphantasia, which means like
Oh,
I don't really see images very clearly in my mind. It's kind of
but
difficult
somehow
to explain.
somehow you still get
And
aroused.
somehow like it's not the thing. Oh god, this is getting way too specific. But, it's not really that I was like seeing the pages or the events in my mind. Like I kind of was, but it's very vague. It's more like the implication of what was happening is enough to
I see.
yeah, it's interesting, but yeah.
The difference in perspective of a writer and a
But
illustrator.
like that's kind of because I'm used to write like this, right? Because like that's kind of my normal state of being. It's just not really seeing the images very clearly. So like I'm used to not seeing things. So even like when I'm writing a story like with like a lot of emotion, I can also feel the emotions of the characters while I'm
Oh, I
writing.
remember.
Even
I remember quite a not so pleasant thing, because I personally think I have quite the imagination. And I already told Chait about this, but when I was working on some of the pages, I quite literally had like olfactory hallucinations. I was smelling stuff that I shouldn't smell,
that's so funny.
and it wasn't that pleasant.
That's so
Not
funny.
good. Not good. Not good. I don't know if I'm just losing my sanity at that point.
I think you
But
probably
yeah,
were
that
losing
shit
your
happened.
sanity.
It's kind of funny, just randomly smelling.
Bread.
What do I call it? Yeast smell. Bread yeast smell.
God.
I kind of like the smell of yeast, but you know what I mean. You know what
I know
I mean.
what I mean. You don't mean the other type of yeast, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, I somehow I never had any olfactory hallucinations before.
Nice.
But somehow doing this manga made me. Well, that was some crazy stuff that happened. This is like the cycle of me and Trite talking.
Yeah,
We become very educational. We learn a lot of stuff from each other.
Yeah.
And then we're somehow gonna drift into some pretty questionable stuff.
This always happens. Yeah.
We even had a convo where, cause in the eromanga there's they're using some dill, some dills. And
Oh God.
it's a double-sided dill. It's a double-sided dill, okay? And I think I chatted Trite. I was like, Trite, since they're using a double-sided dill, isn't it technically they're having like a tug of war using their whatever? Yeah. Is it basically a tug of war with vaginal grip strength?
Exactly.
Ooh, Trickster has a question. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was about to ask people about if they had any questions to ask us. Probably more Pisan than me, but yeah, feel free to ask questions if anyone has questions.
And we've had like pretty fucking insane
I've been
insane
talking for
conversations.
Like an hour. Yeah, we have had some kind of crazy conversations for sure.
I'm gonna just get some water real quick. The RB.
So now I can shit talk Pisan. Let's see what I can say about Pisan. Oh yeah, he didn't draw a lot of like the boob squish stuff about I was mentioned earlier. He didn't draw a boob squish. That was a failure. Pisan is a failure.
I hear you, Trite.
Oh, you're here! No!
I just came back.
Damn it.
No, I admit though, I could have added more booba squish there. Patreon, the spicy art. Do you link your PayPal account? Because I think PayPal is kind of fishy with spicy stuff. Yeah. But I think it wouldn't see Patreon as a like sensitive thingy, because the way that works is that when you get money from PayPal, you have, I mean, not you, but I mean sometimes you, yeah. If you do an invoice, you would have to like describe what the money is for. And I assume if it's not by invoice, the client would have to describe what it's for. And maybe if you put in something spicy there, then PayPal might do some PayPal stuff and maybe punish you for something. I don't know. I never experienced it. But yeah, if you're gonna get money from Patreon, it's just gonna be saying there that it's from Patreon. Nothing really sketchy about it. Patreon has been established for quite a while. So yeah, I don't think it's a problem for Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon allows spicy stuff.
Yep.
For sure.
But I think it doesn't allow videos for
like porn
for
videos?
spicy content correctors. Yeah. You can't upload videos directly to Patreon if you're an 18 plus account. But you can link videos
Okay.
from other stuff. Yeah.
Like there are other like platforms where you can get spicy videos if you want.
Is Patreon linked directly to your bank or to PayPal? Mine is linked to PayPal because it's pretty easy to transfer from PayPal to bank anyways. It's free of charge.
PayPal is terrible. We have you kind of have to use it because there's really no good alternative. But like, if I ever open a Patreon, I'm probably gonna link the bank account.
I think there are alternatives to PayPal, but the problem is
like Wise,
PayPal is just too ubiquitous
Yeah,
that
that's
pretty
kind of a
much
problem.
everyone is using it, so it's way convenient. And most of the time, people would prefer to pay a little bit more than do download another thing.
Exactly.
Because yeah, convenience is quite the thing.
Yeah.
Even my Twitch account is linked to my PayPal instead of my bank account. Because the thing is, the thing that somehow is redeeming for PayPal is that it doesn't cost to transfer from PayPal to bank account, at least in my country. So
Yeah,
I don't really mind to have it.
Like PayPal gets their money from transfers between like PayPal.
Yeah, from people to people. Yeah.
Yeah. So like PayPal won't steal your money. What might happen, and that happened to me, they might suspend your accounts, and basically the only thing you can do is transfer out to a bank. So I don't think there's really any risk of PayPal keeping your money.
Yeah, that would be straight up atrocious.
I
man.
have heard like some people getting problems with PayPal with like transfer money if they like break TOS. So yeah, be careful if you're doing NSFW stuff. Probably don't use PayPal because that's breaking TOS.
But for commissions though, I highly recommend to do a bank transfer instead. Especially if you trust the client you have. The only thing that PayPal offers better than a direct bank transfer is PayPal can keep your anonymity. As an artist, anonymity is quite important. For artists that are anonymous, that is.
I say that as someone who just shares my PayPal. Actually, I don't really like now. I use VGen. In VGen, you don't, when you pay on VGen, like you don't see like the name, the PayPal name.
But they hold your money too for like 180 days and stuff, and then they will sorry to investigate.
Really, they do that? Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, PayPal.
I think that's for non-verified people, especially if you're not using a business account and you're not yet verified. They do put some of your money on hold, but they would end up just giving it back. The problem is just it's delayed, so I didn't really mind it back then. But PayPal has this thing that you have to sell a certain amount of orders before you get like verified, and basically after being verified, it's pretty smooth starting from then. What sucks about PayPal is that you have to pay a fee if someone donates money to you and they refund it. Oh, I never experienced that.
Yeah, I never got anything like that either.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Refunding a donation? What the fuck?
Yeah. You can use like Ko-Fi maybe for that stuff. I'm not sure if Ko-Fi doesn't doesn't go through PayPal. Like everything goes through PayPal.
Yeah, coffee does go to. I don't know if it's coffee or Ko-fi, but whatever it is,
I say
it
Ko-fi.
does go through PayPal.
Oh my god.
How do I do it? What do you mean? What do I do?
They're probably asking if you, when you do NSFW commissions, how do people pay you? Probably.
Via PayPal or direct bank transfer.
Yeah, I've done direct bank transfers too.
Your client is probably not gonna describe the illustration as something NSFW anyways if they do pay you. But just to be more safe, you yourself, you do the invoice so you can describe what you're
Yeah,
selling.
exactly. Yeah.
Also, use a business account. I can't exaggerate more that using a business account is way better than a personal account.
I should probably do that, to be honest.
Yep.
Because like I'm accepting a lot of commissions now.
Yeah, and also it can hide your name, which
Yeah,
is
I should probably
really
do
good.
that.
Yeah, so far I don't really have any complaints about PayPal other than the amount. Oh, thank you for the sub. Other than the fact that the amount you pay for
Oh
transferring
my
is
god, it's
quite
terrible.
horrendous and like
Yeah.
converting
The
the currencies.
Let me tell you a story. So
Yeah, go on.
I have been telling like everyone that like I have a lot of migraines, and one of my symptoms is I get screen sensitivity, like with normal screens. And so I had to buy recently a monitor that's like e-paper. That's kind of like a different technology. And I had to order the screen from China, and they accepted PayPal, right? So I go to the site, right? And the screen is very expensive. It's $750. It's like stupid
Ooh.
expensive. It's like the screen I'm using now, so it's been saving my life the past 2 weeks. Anyway, I went to like the page, and like it like I decided to pay through PayPal, and like paying through PayPal, I didn't have enough money on PayPal, right? And I had to like use a bank and like the bank card, and like if I used PayPal's conversion, which is like the default, and it's very difficult to get around it, they charged me about an extra, I think it was like $30
Jesus
just
Christ.
for the conversion of dollars to euros. And I was like, no, you're not gonna scam me out of this money. So basically I have like a bank account. If like anyone does a lot of like traveling and does a lot of paying in other currencies, I highly recommend you getting a bank account, a digital bank account on Revolut, which is like a normal bank, pretty much. I'm not sure if it's available outside of Europe. I hope it is. It's like I have a normal debit cards, but the good thing about Revolut is like their app, they like do like really good conversions on like between currencies, like very cheap, like incredibly cheap. So I was
I
like,
might
I
check
knew,
that out.
let me check how much I actually paid on the conversion. And like I knew there was a way around PayPal, if there's like a setting to force PayPal to use my Revolut credit debit card as and pay that in dollars, and so the conversion is done on Revolut side and not on PayPal's side. And like it's kind of difficult to get there, but like when I got there, let me tell you how much I saved. So actually, where is it? Let me see on the app. Okay, so remember, like the monitor was $750, right? I paid $751.76. So I paid an extra dollar for the conversion.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah,
That's way
actually,
cheaper.
no, wait. I actually paid for shipping. Wait.
Ooh, as well.
Yeah, like yeah, this is kind of way lower than I expected, because like the shipping was like $2, so somehow I paid even less for shipping than I expected, for total than I expected. But like it was like a couple of dollars of conversion, and PayPal was like asking me for like $30, and I was like, no, you're not gonna
Yeah.
scam me out of this.
I'll take note of that. I might
Yeah,
use that
that's
actually.
rightly super important. Like, if you
Whoa,
have,
who's
we have a
raiding me?
raid.
Oh, it's
Kichan is
Kichan!
raiding! Hello, Kichan!
Great timing, Kichan.
Yeah, amazing
Hello,
timing.
chat. We were talking about Kichan and Pan doing
Yeah, we're talking
Kichan
about the
and Pan
eromanga.
stuff. Welcome in, Raiders. I am Pishan, the guy, the eromanga guy.
The myth, the legend. Yeah.
And this guy here is by my side, the author of
Yeah,
the Bible, the Bible.
The Bible. I wrote the hentai manga guy. Oh my god! I wrote the story for the eromanga with Pan and Kichan. I'm using a female avatar. My character is named Lyra because I don't have a good avatar for myself, so I'm using that.
I just realized that the quote was like blocking chat. Let me just move that.
Yeah, it's a
But
little.
yeah, anyways, thank you for the raid. That was a very appropriate raid.
Yeah,
Thank you very
perfect.
much.
I was just finishing my story with PayPal, and perfect timing. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just yapping about the experience of making the eromanga. Are you both using ViadoTube? I am using ViadoTube, and Trite is just from Fujitech.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I don't really remember. On the top right, someone asked. It's the omake. Like the omake
Oh, yeah,
is like
yeah,
a like a meme page piece and added to the end, and like that's one of the scenes on the Arrow manga. And in the real Arrow manga, Kichan is not holding the baguette; he's holding something else. Let's say.
So
that.
yeah, every majority of the readers probably already know that we have an eromanga of Ki and Pan, but I might as well announce now that we are gonna be selling physical copies of it in Cosmatsu. I'll make further detailed announcements about it. But yeah, we gonna have physical copies, boy.
Let's go.
We are gonna have physical copies. We
Yeah,
are printing it as we speak.
Yeah, I can't believe the space fungus became Kichan lore. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
Yeah, more about that in the future. I'm gonna post more about that in Twitter.
Space mold. Oh my god. Yeah, I told the story how the space mold came about. But basically, like, Pisan mentioned at some point that Pan had like a running joke with molds, and I was trying to come up with a way to integrate the corruption tag, and I was like, wait a second, I can just use space mold as the as the corruption thingy, and that's pretty much how it came about, the space fungus stuff. Yeah, it's
What a brilliant thing.
It's basically space aphrodisiac. It's not really like corruption in the normal sense of the word, but I think I can get away with with using the fungus as the corruption.
Kichan, how does it feel to have a full-blown eromanga made just for you and Pan as well?
Yeah, I don't know your.
How does it feel?
Your comment about corruption is corruption, exactly. I don't know Kichan's overall. I know overall opinion on the manga, but you're
not sure actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, I kind of have the same feeling. Like, I don't really want to be branded as the guy who draws eromanga. I just wanted to have at least one eromanga drawn for me. I'm like, I just want to have the title of eromanga artist, but not being like my main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can also use the term mangaka now. Just for the experience. Yeah, like one of my problems, no, one of my worries about when I was writing the story was making sure I respected both Pan and Kichan, because like it's kind of different to write a story for like characters and write story for like real people. Even if Kichan and Pen are in some ways playing a character, right? Since they are VTubers, but like they are real people, and so I had to be very careful to like ask for like permission to like do some stuff. But at the same time, I had to like respect the tags, right? So I had to like balance between doing like a story that fit the tags and like a story both of them were comfortable with. And I hope the final product is like okay with both of them. I think they are both fine with them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like
And
that was like my main worry when I was writing the story.
yeah, for me, I am really happy that I am
Pen hasn't
officially now an eromanga artist. And another thing, I think it's also quite rare for what do you call this, for VTubers, especially indie VTubers, to have like an eromanga unless they're like super big.
Yeah, that's kind of rare. Someone mentioned for me to write a fanfic of Pen and Key. I'm not sure if I'm the best person, just because this is kind of a bit embarrassing. But like, I don't really follow either of them. I had to like do some research on their streams and stuff and like their lore.
He had to stalk them.
Yeah, I had to stalk them. Like I watched their streams a little bit because like I had to get a sense of their personalities, right? Because to write a story, I had to get a sense of the personalities. Like I honestly don't have a lot of time to like watch VTubers. It's not anything personal, so like I'm not sure if I'm the best person to like write like a fanfic unless someone gives me like a very specific story to write. Yeah, like I think I got a good sense of your personalities.
For research, he says.
Exactly.
Talking, I say.
No, I did stalk them for like a couple of streams to get like the sense of like the energy, and like I did like Kichan a little bit more serious than maybe she is on streams, just because like I explained this on like my Twitter thread I wrote, but like when you have two characters, or in case two people with very similar energies, there's not a lot of chemistry there. In like in
I
terms
agree.
of like writing a story, so I had to like make Kichan a little bit more serious, and that's kind of the sense I got from watching your streams.
They're both bottoms.
In the story, they are both bottoms at some point, exactly. But like I made Kichan a little bit more serious and Pen a little bit more exciting, over the top, like to balance out the.
I also like on
the
my
story.
part, I also had to make Kichan's booba a little bit bigger, like similar to what Trite said.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Having contrast between the characters, like Pan being flat and Kichan
Yeah, that's kind of
having a little bit more boing boing, you know. I had to, upsize the boobas a
upsize,
little bit.
exactly. Like at like the very early drafts, I was like reading Kichan's lore, and like she has a lot of like outfits, right? And like I saw like Onesan outfit at some point, and I was like discussing with Pisan, like, wait a second, maybe she can transform into like the Onesan modes at some point in the middle of the.
She imbues her booba with psychic powers, and then it suddenly enlarges.
And like and like the only reason I thought about doing the Onesan thingy was precisely because to not have like two flat-chested characters or look like two small booba characters in the eromanga. But then like Pisan noted, yeah, but like Kichan is not that flat, and then we decided to just have normal Kichan, basically. That's kind of how that.
It's actually my first time to see. I think it was last night. I saw Kichan's Onesan model.
Yeah, I don't know the context for that, but when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that maybe I could use that for the story. But it ended up not being really necessary. And yeah, I think Kichan is very flexible in terms of the booba size from the art I've seen. So Peace and this.
And she has like some very redeems. Like those hips don't lie, man. Those hips don't lie.
Shape-shifting. Yeah, we could Schrodinger's booba. Exactly.
Schrodinger's booba.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's that's kind of how Kitchen ended up being a little bit maybe more busty than normal, I suppose.
Thank you for the hydrate. Let me hydrate that thing. The fish must hydrate.
Thank you, Kitchen. I appreciate it.
But yeah, as for the future, will I make more eromanga? Maybe, maybe not. But it's definitely not gonna be my main thing.
If people pay you enough, you'll do it.
Even so, I think I'll make it like exclusive to characters I actually wanna draw.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And people that I actually wanna draw. As to compared to, I think illustrations are like my main thing. How much for a part 2? Just get, hey yo.
It's easy, like do like $200 per page or something like that, or maybe even more. And,
yeah, something like that probably. Long story short, making manga is
it's a lot of work.
Expensive, man.
And I'm obviously the
Also, if I'm ever gonna open eromanga commissions, it's probably gonna be
Shorter.
Limited pages. I'm not gonna do a 21-page manga again. 21 pages is just crazy, especially for a first timer.
Yeah.
Probably gonna do like 10 pages maximum, maybe 12. That's like pushing it already.
Like 12 is kind of like the minimum for like, depends on like if you want to have like a unique story on the eromanga, or if you're just drawing the sexy part.
Kichan Kahero expand? Hell fucking no, man. It's already so hard to draw two characters. It's so much work to draw two characters at the same time. Let alone three. No. 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 Instant rejection. No. Hell nah.
Yeah, I said 200 for a one-shot page, but that's kind of like highballing it. I'm not sure how much Pisan would ask, but probably around that, yeah.
Yeah, probably around that. Maybe less, maybe more. But probably 200 per page is a ballpark. Because we also have to pay Trite for, the writing. I think I kind of underpaid Trite, not gonna lie, but I wasn't the one who priced it.
I appreciate you immediately deciding I'm the writer for the next time. Did you underpay me? That's kind of a good question. Maybe not something a discussion I should be having on stream, but like, what I didn't realize, it's how much work you'd need after the scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Because like writing the script wasn't really too much work, but after that, with like helping with the paneling and like directing like the artwork, that was a little.
Did I? I think I did pay you more for the paneling though. Did I?
You did. I asked you.
Oh yeah.
For a boost, because initially I did ask for a little bit too low. But that's kind of fine for like, since it's my first time, it's kind of fine. It's for a friend as well. I don't really mind. I'm pretty content with the amount I got. Don't worry. But like, if anyone
Kichan Dojin 0.5, how she got the space fungus, self-happy time, then gets the idea to visit Pan.
The initial
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, the initial idea kind of was to have a panel with Kichan getting like infected or finding the space mold, but Pisan was like, no, I don't want to draw space mold, and he kind of shut the idea down. That kind of happened. That was funny. Yeah, but like,
I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna draw a full ass panel just for the space mold backstory.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved the story. The way I really loved that there was a switch somewhere in the middle. There was a switch in the dynamic. And the ending as well. The ending was Chef's
Oh yeah,
kiss.
like
Peak.
yeah, like there's a switch in the middle, like their roles switch halfway through, because like I thought the story was getting kind of stale at that point, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny if they switch around the roles. And the ending, like the ending was basically like, yeah, they are gonna be streaming, and like I've read a manga where like the people like doing the thing are streaming, and then they get banned, and I was like, okay, this is like perfect for the ending because like it's not supposed to be like super serious on the yet Mitch Mitch
Mitch.
yeah, they're both they're both bottom. Exactly. Like since they have the same kind of like energy, like switching halfway through and getting Pan also affected by the space mold and getting a little bit more bottom dominating. Yeah. And then like the ending, them getting banned was like kind of a no-brainer consequence of like them being on stream. Like one of the ideas was to have the entire thing framed as the stream, but that would kind of limit a lot of the events in the pages.
It's also gonna be hard to draw.
It was also gonna be hard to draw. Yeah.
Oh, one thing that I really thought was a nice idea that I included was to include like some chat, like reactions by chat.
Yeah, that was a nice
It's also a nice way to say that it's still in the stream and like include people. To those who have read it and saw your name there, it is intentionally misspelled just so they can't like look you up or whatever.
Yeah, I'm there too. I'm Mr. Hexagon. I think.
Yeah.
It's legally distinctive from me. Pen got the short end of the breadstick. Actually, one of the initial ideas was to literally use a baguette, but like, no, I started like laughing too much.
Yeah, you're pushing the bread jokes too much, bro.
There's like a couple of bread jokes.
We already have enough bread jokes in there.
Like a baguette-shaped dildo. That would be kind of funny.
Doxed by an eromanga. The best way to get doxed. Be doxed in an eromanga.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I also like it's just like a nice homage to the community.
Stay
to have them included.
Like maybe in the sequel there will be an actual baguette being used. I don't know.
If there would be a sequel.
If there would be a sequel. It doesn't crack. Yeah, imagine.
We were also talking about that. Like if like the first plan was like at the first plan key wasn't really included. It was supposed to be just a pan dojin, but the community ended up favoring that we have like key included to make it like Yuri manga. So at first, what I was envisioning when it was just pan was, those faceless dudes in hentai and eromangas, those faceless guys, and then I'm gonna make them like really buff, and then the head is just a loaf of bread. The head is just a loaf of bread, and then instead of a schlong, they have a baguette.
Oh my god!
That would what I mean? It would be so funny. But I think I like having key and pan would still be peak though. Compared to that, I think a lot of there would be like a lot more people to enjoy like pan x key in my opinion. And I also kind of like Yuri, but not like too much. I don't necessarily go out of my way to look for Yuri, but if Yuri is done well, don't mind if I do. But that's too many muscular drawings. The thing is, when I started out learning art, I actually drew a lot of bodybuilders. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, but I am very experienced with drawing buff men. As surprising as it might sound, I am quite experienced at drawing buff men. Realistically though, not in anime style. So if I do ever draw that, you would see like a realistic buff bread, and then the head is just a cartoonized bread loaf.
That would be amazing.
Was it for learning purpose? Definitely. Please give me the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. This is like just the story behind the eromanga, I guess. It's quite a long story. It was a 2 month progress, like making it. Not including the time of like the subathon. Yep. It was fun journey.
Yeah, like I'm probably gonna publish a video with this stream, so if anyone wasn't here for the first half when you were talking about like the process of making the eromanga, I can probably share the
the convo we had was, I think, rather educational as well.
Yeah, we
for
kinda
for
went-
artists and authors
writers.
alike.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're interested about us yapping, we have been like speaking for like 2 hours at this point. So
Mm-hmm.
like if anyone is interested in like more details about the eromanga, I never talked about the face mask. I ended up not.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about the tag, and I ended up not explaining the face mask. So yeah, so I wrote the entire story.
Face mask.
Yeah, I wrote the entire story with the tags Yuri, bondage, and corruption, and then I realized, wait a second, there's one more tag, and like I went back and saw like the tags Pisan sent me, and it was like face mask, and I was like, oh god, what the hell do I do with this? And I was like, for a moment, I was like, don't tell me I have to like rewrite the entire story to fit the face mask. But then I remember like, wait a second, there's like a special type of face mask I've seen somewhere, and like I brought this like from the depths of my brain, and I have no idea where I saw those type of face masks. I don't want to spoil what.
Really
what
try
it
it?
is.
Are you sure you're not trying to mask the truth?
Yeah, no, I don't have any of those face masks at home, if that's what you're questioning. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. It's like fits the bondage theme. I don't have to like change the story much at all. I just like added an extra line saying what Kitchen did with the face mask. And like it kind of fit very well in the story, but it was kind of like a last minute rescue because I forgot.
Yeah,
the face
actually,
mask.
some of the panels I forgot to draw the face mask, like
Oh,
like
yeah,
during
you
the
did.
draft.
Yeah,
During the draft, I forgot to draw the face mask, and I'm like, "Fuck! I spent so much time drawing the mouth, and then now I'm just gonna cover it up with a face mask." Fucking hell!
It's a unique gag. Yeah. It's very unique.
A unique gag, double meaning. Yeah, so it's like the behind the scenes is actually quite a pretty interesting story.
It was super funny. Like Pisan saying, "Oh my god, I love this pose," or "Oh my god, I love how they are like in this panel."
Yeah, if we back read with like the chat between me and try it, there's just a bunch of chats where we're just down bad. We're just,
Exactly.
oh, I fucking love this post, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this page. This page is hot. Blah blah blah. Yes, the convos we have, and then there's those random questionable things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Random instances that pops into my mind. Just like, yep, this is us now.
that's kind of where the conversation goes. Yeah. It goes places. It goes places for sure.
Mm-hmm. And especially sometimes I'm drinking while we were talking.
Oh, yeah.
I think during those times is when stuff gets pretty out of hand.
Yeah, and don't forget, Pisan was like working on this for like a month, and that's pretty much Holly he worked on for like the entire last month, right?
I had to cease progress for every single commissions I was working on. So I was not earning any money from commissions. But I'm fine. I'm doing fine financially. Don't worry. I have some savings. Don't worry. I'm fine. But yeah, I had to work on this for pretty much 2 months, along with my thesis. If I didn't have the thesis, then I might have finished the eromanga faster, and I could have been working on commissions as well at the same time. Who knows? But yeah, not a good idea to juggle between thesis, eromanga, and commissions. I did give up the commissions for the 2 months though.
Imagine
My
being like,
clients were
yeah.
kind enough to have it delayed.
Imagine
They
being
didn't
like a
really
client
mind.
of Pisan and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm writing an arrow manga. I can't work on your commission for like a month."
I did tell them that I'm like,
And they were like, "Dude,
uh,
I understand."
I'm sorry, I can't progress the commissions for now because I am working on eromanga and thesis as well. I am dying. Please help me. But yeah, it was good. The good thing as well though is like with I think it was with yeah, it was with Sen, is that I finished the sketches in advance, and the thing is I do get paid with when finishing the sketches. But the deal I had with Sen was it was uh like a payment plan kind of thing. Like Sen is supposed to pay for it every month kind of thing. And so even though I didn't work on commissions in November and December, I did still receive money from Sen
Nice,
because I finished the
smart.
sketches early. So somehow I was still earning. So yippee! I wasn't completely broke for those months. Oh, and also I somehow managed to get money from a commercial fee that randomly popped up. I'm
Nice.
like, yippee! I somehow still got money even though I'm not working on commissions. Ah, yes. Those lucky instances that somehow just made things work. But yeah, chat, if you're working on a thesis, maybe don't work on eromanga. Don't be like Pish.
Yeah, don't do the same thing. Pisan did.
And I was even super confident that I was like bragging to try it. I was like, try it. Do you want to make a bet? I think I'm gonna finish this in November. And I think I ended up finishing the eromanga by 14? Oh no, 15.
I'm
15.
gonna have
Because
to wait for a little bit. I'm
I,
sorry.
I pulled up like an all-nighter. So I ended up like finishing it like 15 of the month, like early morning, probably like 5 a.m. I had to I had to stay up 3 days. I mean no, I mean not completely. Like 3 days I was sleeping 5 a.m. and then I would sleep like 4 hours. So I would sleep 5 a.m. and then wake up by around 9 for 3 days straight. I was like dying, man. I was dying. I was losing my sanity. But I ended up like finishing it, so kind of worth. If you don't mind me asking, which booth will sell the physical copy and how much will it be? I will make further announcements on Twitter, but I think we already have like confirmation on which booth it would be sold at. But I am not yet sure if the price is final. I'm not gonna disclose the price for now. Uh, but I'll make an announcement in Twitter soon. Soon. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. But definitely this week. Yep. Then get more sleep hours. I slept quite well last night and the night before, I think. Oh no, never mind. The night before I wasn't also able to sleep because we had to pass our thesis paper. But I was able to sleep properly today. And maybe that's why I'm kind of jolly right now. But yeah, the sacrifices we make for porn. The sacrifices we make, bro. But the booth would be in. Let me just take a screenshot of this. Give me a second. Boop. So yoink. Wait. Save image. Hello, Mew Mew. We are just talking about corn. How are you doing, Mew Mew? Mew Mew, are you going Kosmatsu? Are you going Kosmatsu? Yippee! What day are you gonna go? I'm not yet sure what day I'll be going. Not yet sure what day I'll be going. But I'll definitely go, I think. I'm pretty sure I will go. I wanna go. I still don't have a ticket though. Not gonna lie, I still don't have a ticket. But it's fine. I don't really mind just being outside the venue. I'm not really a fan of like staying inside anyways. We get to meet the legend himself. Maybe not. I am just a fish. You will see a. Isn't day 2 sold out? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I'm fine being Team Labas anyways. So.
Oh, I'm back.
It's fine.
Sorry about
Alright.
that.
This is the booth. This is the booth thing.
I had to go
In case you wanna buy physical copy. You had to get your delivery. Yup. I'm gonna post more info on Twitter soon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sold in like a convention, right?
Yup.
Everyone. In
Sadly, the copies would be very limited because I ended up finishing the eromanga late due to the thesis. So the plan was for me to finish the eromanga on the last week of November or by the end of November. But I ended up finishing it at the second week or almost third week of December. So the publisher wouldn't have enough time to print a lot of copies. So yeah, the copies would be very limited. Probably around 20 copies ish. Yep. So if I'm gonna go Kosmatsu, I'll probably have to. I don't think I'll be able to go day 1 though. I'm probably gonna go day 2 or 3. So yeah, we will see. But I don't think I'll be able to go day 1. Cause I'll be spending time with my parents. I want to spend time with my parents, man.
Yeah, you do. Give them a copy too of the eromanga.
Give them a copy of the eromanga. I'm gonna get 1 copy for myself. I wanted 3 copies for myself, but that would mean 2 copies that we won't be selling to others because the copies are limited. So I ended up just getting 1. Sad. But yeah, we might publish more though for maybe upcoming events.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Come to like an European con and I'll meet you and I'll sell the eromanga.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask like about. I think you suggested like translations.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We might look into that more.
I'm actually
soon.
thinking like I could technically apply to like a local con we have here, AnimeCon. I'm not sure if I could sell, if I could like go there and sell.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be hard because like
yeah,
it's very unlikely.
because first of all, Pan and Key is Filipino VTubers, and
here would know them.
One of the reason that we're like the angle of selling this eromanga is the fact that Key and Pan has an audience, and so and also they have a booth of their own. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to sell elsewhere.
I agree.
So you need European VTubers, but that means me drawing another eromanga. So I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Like if you sell like a ton of copies and become like a successful eromanga. Kind of
oh man.
start just drawing.
Yeah, because that's the status quo. I am not a famous eromanga artist at all. This is my first eromanga, and people wouldn't buy my eromanga because I am the eromanga artist, they're mainly gonna buy it because of Key and Pan. Some would buy it because they know me as an artist. But I think more people would buy it because of Pan's and Key's market. And I am aware of that.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's our first eromanga anyways. Come to Montreal, I'll buy 3 copies of the eromanga. Damn. I wanna look into shipping though, but the problem with shipping is it's expensive. I think a better option would be to publish it in the country, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know, man. I'll look into those stuff. Not maybe not for this eromanga, but maybe for maybe for this eromanga, but it would be useful for future stuff as well. Is today your birthday? No. It's not my birthday today. But yeah, I hope. Nah, I can't say I hope everyone gets a copy of their own because it's very limited. But good luck getting your copy if you do want to get a copy. Publishing an eromanga is quite a challenge. Why? The funny thing is the publisher. I don't think they questioned anything. They were like pretty chill with it.
Nice.
And I also received like really good like constructive criticism like about paneling and format. I was struggling a bit with the formatting, not gonna lie. But yeah, it was very educational.
Yeah, we talked about doing like digital licensing at some point. I'm not sure if you want to go that route.
Wait, digital licensing? What do you mean by that? Enlighten me.
Like, there are a few eromanga publishers
Mm-hmm.
in English. You could try and contact them and see if they are interested in doing like publishing.
Mm. Yeah, we might look into that.
That's probably like the best way to monetize it. Will probably
Why does it feel like I'm being steered into the path of being an actual eromanga artist? I'm more worried someone might put the dojin in the nuclear code site. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda expecting that would happen. I hope not that early. I hope not that early. But I think that's kind of likely to happen if it does. I mean, not likely, but I mean it's something that you can't really prevent from happening. Well, if it does happen, well, it's alright for me. Not gonna lie, it's alright. If it works, it works. Yeah. I really like the baguette sketch in the corner. Yeah, it's like the meme we had. We have like a meme page in the eromanga. If you buy the eromanga, there's like a meme page at the very end. Not the very end, like almost the very end.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of memes. It was fun making the book. Kitchen likes bread. Yup. Wait, let me just remove this booth thingy. But yeah, to those who don't know, you can get the eromanga electric copy in like a PDF format if you sub on my Patreon, and I think it's $7, and you get the whole eromanga thingy as well as like the sketches that went behind it, like updates and whatnot, like the process of making the eromanga, as well as along with my other stuff. So for like $7, you get a lot of stuff like like a compilation art magazine of my works in 2024. I mean 2023 and soon 2024, and like high quality PNGs of the illustrations I make, as well as the NSFW stuff. The NSFW stuff I work on that I don't post on Twitter. I think I have a few illustrations there. So yep. You took my first Patreon. Me
Patreon
taking
virginity.
Patreon virginities.
Since you
But
are
yeah,
since you are promoting yourself, I'm also gonna do a
yeah,
little
go on
bit of
ahead,
self
man.
promoting.
Sure.
Uh, so basically, I'm a writer. So if anyone wants or is interested in some sort of writing commission, basically I offer like four services right now. So there's one that's like writing reviews, and I discussed this a little bit earlier, where uh, if you like are a beginner writer, don't write like a full novel. Write like a short story, and I can help you like with the writing and the prose stuff. Then I offer like short story slash lore for like VTubers or OCs. So if you are a VTuber or have some OC and you want like a story for that for that character, I can like write a story or come up with lore. Kind of like what I did with Gomiko for Pisan's character.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a service that's kind of still a little bit testing the waters, which is writing a story specifically for a manga. If any if any artist wants to like help with like a manga story.
I love how your example is a straight up eromanga.
Yeah, my example is a straight up manga. It's the only example I have. And then I kind of open full novel commissions, but I really doubt anyone has the money to pay me for a full novel commission, because that's like really expensive. But it's
Like
open, so if anyone
I
is
want to
like
write a manga. Can I see your
your
portfolio?
portfolio, yeah.
And then you just drop them an manga.
Yeah, I just used the first 4 pages for the example. So yeah, that's kind of my writing stuff. I think most people will probably, if anyone's interested, is probably the like short story, because like writing a full novel, like my prices for a full novel, the lowest price I offer is $1,500, and even that is like lowballing it a little bit. So I really doubt anyone has like that amount of money to spend on like a full novel story. But if there's anyone crazy enough for that, it's the commissions are open.
Pay comes at Pisan for the illust, then come try for the lore. Deal.
Exactly.
Deal.
See, you can do that.
We are the dynamic
The
duo.
dynamic duo. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my little self-promotion moment. Yeah, my links are like on Twitter, on Blue Sky. You can find my links. Yeah, package deal. Like if you commission Pisan for a character design plus lore, we'll do a discount. let's say that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure like if someone commissions you for a character design, that's kind of like 95% of the cost. With like the story being like
95% might be
really
overshot, maybe.
Really? Like
I don't know. I'm not sure.
how much is a character design? I know Sun was like
It
1,000.
depends. Sun, it wasn't a character design. It was a character sheet. I didn't design that.
Oh, you didn't design her.
Yeah.
So
It was just a
ask
sheet.
for a design.
I don't remember, but it's over 1,000. Yeah, it's
1,000.
over 1,000.
Like a
Yep.
lore and short story from me would be like maybe $60 about that. So yeah, it's 5% of the total cost, or less than 5%.
Take my money. But I don't think I'll be able to open any commissions. Until maybe probably March.
Oh gods.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to go open commissions until March. I'm just I had to push back some commissions because of the eromanga. Yeah, I promised some of my regular clients that I'll work on their commissions, and I must hold up to that promise. I am just that type of guy that would hold up to my promise. So yeah, I will. I have some stuff queued up basically for about 2 months. I won't be able to open commissions in 2 months. That's it. Long story short.
And like my writing commissions, I'll probably only open them next year because like right now I need to like finish a novel for a contest, and I need to write like a short story for like my other novel. So writing stuff, I'm probably gonna be only opening next year. But we are almost at the end of the year.
Yep. And I'll probably stream quite a bit actually. Like like before Christmas, because I have to like finish commissions. So I might actually be more active for the following, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. And after that, I'll be going to my parents' place. I'll be spending time with them, have like, Christmas celebration and eat food. My
See,
favorite part,
that's kind of
eat
important.
good food. And after that, I'll be going to Kosmatsu. I don't know if it's day 2 or day 3. I'll be going. I do wanna sign some of the copies.
Ooh,
So yep,
that would be fun. Yeah.
yep, that will be fun. Further announcements will be made about the physical copies and the signed copies. We are not yet that sure about the signed copies, but physical copies will definitely be sold on Kosmatsu with limited copies, probably around 20-ish copies, depending on how many copies the manufacturer can actually publish. Yeah, that's about it. It was a really nice conversation with you, right?
Yeah.
I
Likewise.
I
Very
think it's
nice.
a nice time for us to wrap it up here.
Yeah, for sure. It's been 2.5 hours. It's been a while.
Yep. It's kind of funny because when I ask you to like, hey, I think it's a good idea if we do like a stream talking about the happenings during the making of the eromanga. And I was like, after that, I was like, I don't even want to bother like preparing an outline for like talking to you. I'm like, I'm pretty darn confident it's just gonna flow naturally.
Yeah,
It's just how it works.
yeah, it's just kind of flow. Yeah, we have good chemistry.
Oh
that's
my
the thing.
god.
But yeah,
Chat,
we kind of
chat. Trite actually confessed that if I was not a male fish.
I didn't say that.
Anyways, let's
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
let's go look
Maybe I
for
implied.
someone. Let's look for someone to read. You're also streaming right now, right?
No, I'm not streaming. I'm not streaming.
Oh, I thought you were streaming.
No.
Never
I'm
mind.
just recording, and then I'm gonna.
Alright. Let me just look for someone to raid.
Yeah,
I was
thanks.
actually aiming to raid Kichan because I saw her
But
live
she
when I
sniped
started
the raid
stream.
out of you.
But she tabled the turns on me.
But yeah,
Let me
thanks
look for
everyone
someone to
for
raid.
showing up on the stream. It was really fun talking about the Arrow manga again. We didn't really ask for many questions. I'm not sure if anyone has like any questions.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
we
Before we
didn't,
do end the stream,
yeah,
if
if
anyone
anyone-
has like questions
yeah,
or
like a
like
quick question.
stuff you're curious about, like for the writer and me, the artist, feel free to go on and ask
Yeah,
before we actually raid.
we didn't have opportunity.
I
to
forgot to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. If there are no questions, we can wrap it up.
I'm just gonna go take a bathroom break bathroom break real quick while someone might think of questions.
Yeah,
BRB.
If no one has any questions, we can wrap it up. No questions, apparently. Add empty. Can you give us a solo stand-up routine while you're here, Trite? I'm not actually very good at stand-up. So unfortunately, I think I'll pass on that suggestion. But thanks, Seshpai, for for hanging out all this time. I actually have a friend, a real life friend, that's doing stand up stuff. That's like trying to learn stand up. And I might ask her how she does stand up. The only thing I can think of that's kind of funny is the the bread jokes on the eromanga. Like I started like laughing to myself when I came up with those jokes. Unfortunately, Panecitos or whatever your name is, Pisan is currently on a bathroom break, and I'm kind of an invited speaker. I'm kind of doing. Yeah, we're talking about the eromanga Pisan made. I wrote the story. I'm not sorry. I'm not. I'm not actually a lady. Just my avatar. But that's fine.
Damn Panecitos, you're trying to raise up, right, huh?
Yeah, they're trying to raise me up. That's kind of my fault. I need to like get an actual character design. But like my problem is, I really just don't like. I don't have good ideas for like male characters. That's kind of like a problem with my writing. And so I should get an avatar for me, like as a writer, a male avatar. But since I don't have any, I just stream you. The problem is Phoenix Wright is copyrighted, right? I can't just use him to stream.
Definitely, yeah.
I need to get a legally distinctive Phoenix Wright. Right.
Legally distinctive.
Yeah, like
That's funny.
inspired by Phoenix Wright, but not Phoenix Wright. I'll have to think about it when I design like a character or ask like a character designer to like make. Is that exactly?
We're gonna have Phoenix Strite.
Phoenix Wright. Exactly.
Phoenix Strite.
Oh my god. Anyway, no one has any questions, I think.
Yup.
So
Forgive me, I was munching on some pomelo. Anyways, no.
I think we can wrap it up.